Welcome to Local Distortion. On this podcast, I'll be talking to the best up-and-coming independent artists and bands. I am your host, Daniel Kirk. My guest this week is Tom Lumley.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Now, if you can remember, what was the first album you ever brought?
Well, it's embarrassing because it's the reason I started music. It was Busted.
Oh no.
It wasn't the first album, it was the second one. It was a present for everyone. Because
Okay.
I remember I never bought the first album because
Cool for that.
No. For some weird reason, as a kid, like I think I was like 8 or 9 then when they were out, and I worried about what my mum and dad would think about my interest in music, like what I liked in music. So I never said to them I like Busted because I thought that I would be embarrassed if they didn't. They were like, "Oh, what you listen to? This is rubbish." So yeah. That was
See, I had the opposite experience because I think one of the first albums I had was Limp Bizkit, Chocolate Starfish.
Yeah, sweet.
The first track, Fred Durst, he says the F word 40 odd times.
Yeah.
So I cranked that up in my room, had the door open obviously, and I was so embarrassed. I went red in the face.
Yeah.
But that was pretty awkward, like putting that on and my mum just walking past and
being like, "What's this?
What is this?
I had an experience like that. I bought Jay-Z versus Linkin Park when they did like the collaboration album, like Collision Course, and I bought it because me and my dad really like Linkin Park, and they don't swear that much, so.
But they do on that one though, don't they?
Because I think it's really like that's the way Jay-Z is. He swears a lot, so bought it, put it on the car with my mum and dad on the way home, and then like as songs went on, we're like. And like some of the things they talk about in there as well, like really like sexual
like
things and stuff, pimps and things like that. And I was just like, oh no, this isn't good. And I was only young at the time, and we got to like the house, and my dad like stopped and he was like, "Well, I didn't realise it was going to be like that." And I was like, "I'm really sorry, I didn't realise it was going to be like that." And I remember them saying, "You can keep the CD as long as your sister doesn't hear it." So I was like, all right.
Brilliant.
That's a great album though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's only got like 6 tracks on it, but that album made me appreciate Jay-Z.
Yeah. I think it definitely helped both artists reach a wider audience,
definitely.
and maybe you could do that.
Yeah.
Collaborate with a rap artist someday.
Yeah, maybe.
Do your own little collision course.
Definitely.
So if
That'd
there's
be
any
awesome.
rappers listening.
Yeah, I did start doing it with a local one. Like we started trying to write a little bit, but it's sort of at a halt at the moment. But it might come back out.
Oh, okay. So that's an exclusive right there.
So yeah, it might happen. We don't know.
Tom Lumley's rap album.
Yeah, definitely.
Coming next year.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
That would. So what was the first song that you ever learnt to play on guitar? You can remember.
The first song that I ever learnt to play on the guitar was The House of the Rising Sun. So really old, really quite, yeah. I remember...
How long did it take to learn that? Did you just pick it up straight away? Or
no, it took a few weeks. Quite a few
Could you play like the whole song all the way through? Or just the intro?
Just like the chords all the way through at first. Like not the lead bits, obviously. I just remember... I slowly learned a few chords. I had lessons and I slowly learned a few chords, and then he was like, "Right, we're going to choose this song as the first song because it's got all the chords that you know." And he was like, "You need to put them together." And I was like, "Right, I've learned how to play the chords, but how do I move from chord to chord?" Like, it just literally baffled me. I was like, "That's so hard." And then he was like, "Right, you're hitting the wrong strings. You need to only hit these 4 strings." I was like, "How do you only hit 4 strings?" And then slowly, after like a few weeks, it starts to like get into your head.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as a youngster, when I first started playing guitar, I never wanted to practice. So because I just wanted to play. That's
standard, isn't it?
Yeah,
you just never want to practice. You just want to instantly be amazing.
To be honest with you, I didn't have that much interest in doing it when I started doing it because all I wanted to do was play football.
Yeah.
Basically, although they deny it, I had a lesson like when I was really young, when I was like 9 years old, when I was into Busted, I really wanted to play guitar. And unfortunately, the guitar teacher that my dad had got me, who was a friend of his, passed away.
Right.
And I didn't pick it up again, and then I remember it was a parents' evening and there was like posters through the school saying guitar lessons, and I was like 12, and by that point I didn't really want to play guitar, but I still had a guitar at home, and I knew that my parents were going to be like, "Oh, you should just try it again maybe," or something like that. And then that's what happened, so I tried it again. But I think I just did it because I wanted to do it because my parents said to maybe try it, but they didn't push me into doing it. I was just didn't speak up for myself. But now I'm glad because I would never have been good enough to be a footballer. and
you interestingly grew up
with music.
Yeah, so. And you interestingly grew up in Spain as well. Yeah, the like football powerhouse back then. I'm guessing when you were that age.
It was it was cool growing up in Spain. We could go out to the bars with like our parents from whatever age and stay out. Do you know what I mean? Like in England,
really?
Yeah, in England obviously there's a limit on 8, 9 o'clock. Kids under a certain age aren't allowed in.
Yeah.
In Spain, No, it's not bad parenting, but
it's just chilled.
We literally lived in a village, which was, in a way, it was like a third world country. There was like quite a lot of English, like sort of like an expat community that had slowly moved there. And like we'd go out and do karaoke until like 3 a.m, and if like my sister had fallen asleep, we'd put like 2 chairs together and she'd fall asleep on it. But it wasn't like, it was safe. It wasn't like that at all. And it was all our friends. There'd be like 30 of us, so it was brilliant. It was so different to living here. Well, what I can imagine living here would be like.
yeah. Well, yeah, definitely.
I didn't live in
from
both.
From my experience,
yeah.
It is. Yeah. So when did you decide that writing and performing music is what you wanted to do? Did that coincide with wanting to move back here?
Basically, when I wasn't practicing, eventually my parents said to me, "Oh, you're not practicing. It's a waste of our money. We're going to call it quits." And then I sort of pleaded that no, I'm really sorry. I do actually really want to do it. And they, for my birthday present that year, they said to me, "Right, you've got until December." My birthday's in October, and they said you've got till December to prove yourself. And at that point, I was playing for a Sheffield United academy in Spain. I had a fallout with my manager, and I left the club, but I wasn't allowed to sign for another club until January. So I'd had nothing to do. So I actually started picking up the guitar because I was bored and playing it. And then as I played it more, it became easier. And then I was like, I got into it. I never went back to football. Played lead guitar in bands for quite a while, in rock bands, playing like Metallica and AC/DC and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. And then eventually when I was 16, started singing. And then from there, naturally at the age of 18, I decided that I needed to move back to England because that's where the music industry is.
So let's talk about your new song, Dream City.
Yep.
It's currently in the NMG unsigned charts.
Yeah, the NMG or unsigned charts, which is really cool. It's already had its first week and it stayed in, which was nice because the first song I ever had in it every day, that got the 20 weeks, which is how long a track's allowed to go for. But yeah, Dream City's in it, so that's really cool. And
so people can vote for that one now.
Vote for it now currently. Because on Wednesday it needs to stay in.
Yes. There will be a tag in the description to do that, and it takes 2 seconds. I've done it.
Literally, thank you.
And the ironic thing is, like, I obviously saw your thing to keep your song in, and I'm obviously friendly with other artists who are currently in the chart, and they've been spamming me with messages like, "Oh, can you vote for it as well?" And I've had to do the other people in the charts as well.
Cool. That's fine. As long as you gave me a vote, I'm happy.
I did. I definitely voted for everyone who prompted me to vote, yes.
I feel very blessed because I didn't prompt you.
No, you didn't, but I saw it and I was like, well, I've done everyone else. He's coming on my podcast. I kind of have to.
Better do it.
And I want to. So
yeah, exactly. I'd have only pushed you into doing it today anyway.
Yeah, you would have forced me to do it right now.
Literally.
So yeah, can you refresh the page? Or?
You're not meant to.
But you can.
It's meant to be one vote.
Just do that for Tom. Just do that for Tom.
Yeah, do it once or maybe twice.
Get your mum, get your sister, get your granddad, just everyone to do it.
Just don't go too crazy because I'll get disqualified.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think so. If it's too many and it looks obvious like you're cheating, then they just like, Tom, you voted for yourself 100 times this week. Oh no.
Whoops.
I just thought about it. We're saying people go and vote, but I might not even be in it this time next week when the podcast goes out.
No, I'm sure you will.
Hopefully.
Well, what I do is this week I'll share it on the page.
Yeah, sweet. Cheers.
No worries. So Dream City is the title track from your debut EP.
Yeah. Well, it is a debut EP, but it's a little bit not long.
So you've had EPs in the past?
Basically, when I was younger and naive and very silly, I released an EP very, very quickly. And a second one very, very quickly. And then...
As most artists
As I matured a little bit, I realised that...
They're just not good enough, or just wasn't happy with them?
I feel like I've come on a lot since then, technically. But also the sound that I had then. Like, I found my sound now, and I've always loved indie and rock music, so naturally I found that sound. But because back then it was the whole craze of Ben Howard and singer-songwriter and Ed Sheeran,
yes,
and me being on my own, I just naturally fell into that singer-songwriter sort of acoustic-y sound.
So that was when it was just you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because now you kind of had the full band.
And I sort of realised then, slowly started to realise that those EPs don't represent me, they represent something that I just did because it was sort of the popular sound at the time.
It was kind of a phase, wasn't it? I'm kind of glad that's going away now, because there's so many, wasn't there?
Proper like guitar music and proper bands.
It's just that husky. What is that accent? I don't know.
Yeah,
just
if
country,
it's a songwriter accent, we'll go with that.
yeah. I don't know what
it's not that they're not proper artists. Obviously, like I've seen Ed Sheeran live quite a few times.
Yeah. Well, I think he's kind of an exception.
Yeah, he's incredible. What he does.
He's truly individual.
I was never necessarily a massive Ed Sheeran fan. He wasn't really my inspiration. But yeah, slowly I found my sound, a bit indie rocky, and then I've released a couple of singles, as you know. Yes. As I found my sound and got the band together, And now finally I decided that I'd release an EP. I recorded Dream City with a guy called Dan Lambert at Valhalla Music Group, which is not far from where we are actually.
Yes, it's just down the road, and he's worked with Seasons and a few other local
Seasons,
bands.
and he's Oscar Corney. Group of awesome people. So, and I recorded Dream City with him, which was going to be a single. And then
another single.
It was going to be literally like I've been told by someone that it's better to just hold music back and release just a few little bits for people to keep interested.
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. And then we recorded Dream City. I was like, wow, this is amazing. He's so good. Like, what he does, he is incredible. And he heard one of my older songs and he was like, I really want to get my hands on that. So I thought, well, we might as well just chuck another 3 songs in that easily and just make an EP. Hopefully, it goes down well.
So the EP is 5 songs. Does it have a title yet?
Yeah, Dream City.
Okay.
It's a self-titled EP.
Okay.
Of the not self-titled, so that would be me. It's like, this has all gone wrong, innit? Yeah, it's named after Dream City, which was going to be the single off of it. So.
When do you roughly think it will be available? It
was meant to be out in October on the 21st, and my headline show at the Junction was going to be sort of an EP launch.
Right.
But it's been put on pause for reasons that I can't.
But you are playing all these songs live at the moment, currently, aren't you?
I'm playing a few of them.
Yeah.
I haven't played Dream City live yet.
So that will be.
It may or may not be at the Junction.
So you'll have to you'll have to come to
You've
find out.
You've got to get a ticket and come to find out.
Yeah.
And there's 2 other songs on the EP, which are 2 that aren't played, which I'm going to keep for a later date, probably the EP launch. Which there will be an EP launch show. So there you go. There's another exclusive. That there's going to be another Cambridgeshire
in the near future.
Yeah.
At a undisclosed location.
I'm thinking if it's not before the end of the year, it'll be February.
So if anyone hasn't heard Dream City yet, here's a Local Distortion exclusive of the song.
Too long for me to open my eyes. I thought you were right for me, but I guess I was blind. And now that I'm free from you, I feel so alive. So don't you come after me, 'cause I'll be dressed in disguise. I don't think you understand that all that I know is all that we've come to be. I've wasted my time just floating around in Dream City. And yeah, you say that you want me, and yeah, you say that you need me, but all that I know is all that we've come to be. It took an epiphany to leave you behind. You cried with dishonesty and fucked with my mind. And now that I know the truth, you're no friend of mine. I wasted my time on you, and now I'm saying goodbye. And I don't think you understand that all that I know is all that we've come to be. I've wasted my time just floating around in Dream City. And yeah, you say that
out of all the songs you've released so far, maybe not counting the EP,
Okay.
because it's technically not out yet.
No, it's not released.
Which song is your favourite and why?
See, this is contradicting the question because it's a song called Running for My Lives, which is the B-side to Seesaw.
Well, that's technically
which
out, yeah.
is out because it has been released as a B-side, but it's being re-recorded and released on the EP. So it is from the EP and it is out. So it's an unreleased release track.
Okay. Okay, I'll let you have that one.
Thank you.
But why? Why is that your favourite?
It's the first song that I ever used falsetto in, which is like a vocal technique. For me, I tried for ages to improve my falsetto and get to a stage where I felt comfortable to do it, and it was the first time that I felt comfortable to put it into... I'd done it with covers, but to put it into one of my own songs.
Could you explain that for people
falsetto,
who may not know?
It's sort of when you hear someone do like a higher airy sort of sound, like, you know, that's really
Are you going to do it on the podcast?
No, I'm not going to do it on the podcast.
You need to warm up, obviously.
But yeah, I could do it. I'm not going to. So yeah, it's like when you hear, like Sam Smith does it a lot. It's that higher range which comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's a big thing that I managed to put into one of my own songs because I've been working on it for so long. So it meant a lot to me for that reason. And also, there's like a breakdown bit where it comes into like a massive like load of noise. And to me,
a breakdown of sorts.
Yeah, it literally comes out of the chorus and it goes down to just my guitar, and then all like the guitars and the drums come in, and I just think that bit's awesome. I never used to like my own music. Until like Stay Here, the 3 songs that have been released as singles before then, I'd never listened to my music because I really didn't like it. But I'm just saying that
it's bearable.
I'm just saying I can listen to it.
You can tolerate it now.
Yeah, literally. The cons of being a solo artist and having a band is, and it's nothing against my band if they're listening, but sometimes you'll get offered a gig and not everyone can do it because obviously they've got other commitments and other bands, which is completely understandable because I'm not paying them enough to be completely committed to me at the moment, which is fair enough.
But at the end of the day, you can always play that show solo, can't you?
Acoustically, yeah, I've done that so many times. That's the other, in a way, there's a pro to it as well, that I can always do any show, really.
You've made 3 music videos so far. Which one is your favourite?
I'd say it's really in between the 2 most recent ones, which is Stay Here and Seesaw. Stay Here was really fun because we were literally, although it doesn't look like it was filmed in my garage, which is tiny, and it somehow looks big. But it was the first one that I did with a guy called Simon Webb, who's a really, really good friend of mine. And I think it was fun because I was working with someone who's my mate, and we had a real good laugh. And then I'd probably say Seesaw is my favourite because like we're playing on the J1 stage at the Junction. So I mean, yeah. Growing up for me, even though I lived in Spain, I've always come back to England, and when I've gone to gigs at the Junction, and since I've moved back, I pretty much live at the Junction. So for me to play on that stage where I've seen all my favourite bands and like people I look up to, that's massive. So to be able to make a video of it, yeah, I think that's got to be the best one.
Do you want to maybe talk about your first video that you did?
Oh, Little Games. See, that was the second one because the first one got pulled because I was like, the first one needs to go. The second one, I was sort of, it's not as Little Games, I suppose it wasn't as bad, but it probably does need to come down. The thing is I don't believe in always taking your music down straight away because at the end of the day it shows progression and it shows where you come
definitely.
from. And I think my SoundCloud represents that because I've left everything on there so that if people do want to see how it's changed, then you can.
Yeah.
Everyone always asked me if there was alcohol in the drinks, and some of them were water, but because we did a lot of shots and a lot of takes.
Yeah.
But I think we're allowed like one alcoholic, one every 2 or 3 water.
Did you recycle all of those tin cans?
Yes, I did. Of course,
there's a lot of beer cans.
Yeah.
Especially in your room. There was like a mountain in that video.
Yeah. I'm not an alcoholic.
Okay, kind of came across.
Yeah, it comes across like that.
Were you 18 then?
Yeah. Was
okay.
I? No.
It's alright, you were in your house. It's fine.
I was either 17 or 18. Yeah, but the thing is, I lived in Spain, so from the age of...
Was that shot in Spain then?
Yeah. I was still in Spain then. It's really bad, but from the age of 14, like in England, kids go and drink and binge drink in parks.
Yeah.
But from the age of 14, we could get away with going up to our local bar and getting a pint. That's terrible. I didn't do it that much at 14. It was more like 15 when it started. I'm not an alcoholic. I promise, I'm literally not an alcoholic. No, that video was about alcoholic though. I had a problem with it, so
yeah. Okay.
I suppose we sort of made the video make me look like an underage alcoholic, but I'm not. I never was. I never will be. I do like a good whiskey. That's all.
Gone off the beers,
every morning.
Gone on to the strongest stuff. Let's talk about the local scene around Cambridgeshire.
Yes.
You're obviously very close with a few artists and bands.
Yeah. I think there's something really, really, really good happening in Cambridge at the moment. There's a lot of artists going for it, a lot more I think since I moved back to the UK just over 2.5 years ago, already I've seen a massive difference recently. Like, there's so many more good artists coming through. Yeah, like you said, a few of them are my friends. There's sort of me, Hollow Star, Searching Grey and Oscar Corney. We're sort of like a very, very, very close family. We support each other as much as we can. If one of us aren't playing and we know the other one's playing, we're at their gig sort of thing, which is amazing, and that's what you need. Because at the end of the day, if you've got managers or PR or anyone in there that's trying to scout, they don't know that it's just your friends from other bands that are there. They just know that you've drawn a crowd in that are singing your songs, and that's amazing. Like, so it's
what I'm finding as well doing this podcast. It's kind of like Alice going down the rabbit hole. Like, the further down the hole you go, the more bands you discover.
I think that the reason why that is like that is because everyone in Cambridge at the moment is so close and so supportive of each other. When you've, like, that's how I've met you, is through Hollow Star. When you're meeting another artist, they're saying to you, I'll go get this artist as well, because everyone's supporting each other and wants to push each other and give each other opportunities, which is nice.
Yeah, it makes a change, doesn't it? Because it hasn't always been like that. No, especially around here, there's been a lot of negativity in the past.
There is a few people who are very much about themselves and stuff like that.
Yes.
I'm not going to ever say any names because I'm not like that, but it shows because all of a sudden they're not getting as many gigs, and all of us, like, even if we're putting them on ourselves, we're putting on gigs together, which crowds are getting bigger, and it's just amazing to watch. But I had an acoustic show at a local venue in St Ives on a Sunday afternoon, which I didn't promote that much, and still about 50 people turned up or so, and the majority of them were like asking me to play my own music instead of covers. Which, because when I play acoustic, I play quite a few more covers than I do. When the band, I don't play any covers, and that's the way I'd like it to be. But acoustic, I just mix it up a bit. And to have people literally like, and they were saying what songs they wanted to hear, and then I was just amazed at how many people were singing the lyrics. And it's not that big amount of people to like artists who are established. That 50 people is not a lot of people, but to me on a Sunday night afternoon gig that I hadn't really promoted, to have that many people come up and actually singing the lyrics was, like, it showed me where I've come in the last couple of years. I'm really looking forward to the Junction gig, because already I know how many tickets have sold for that.
Yes, that's going to be a very...
I'm very, very excited. I'm really looking forward to that. So yeah, headlining the Junction on the 21st of October with a bunch of awesome bands, including Hollow Star, who are literally like my best mates. And it's Joe from Hollow Star's 28th birthday and my 21st, so it's going to be crazy.
It's going to get messy.
Very. Hopefully not before I get on stage.
How much is that again?
It's £5, and if you want a ticket, just drop me a message.
Yes, £5. That's nothing.
It's cheap. £5 for 5 bands.
So now we're going to talk about your day job. What do you do for work?
Okay, well, I was living off of music for quite a while. I was doing cover gigs as well, acoustic on my own, which can pay quite well. And I still do a fair few of them myself now, because I can, and it's extra pay, which is good. At the moment, I'm working in a jewellery shop. So it's my mum and dad's jewellery and gift shop. They've got 2 in Spain.
Oh, okay.
So that's what they sort of do there. They still live there, but then they found themselves coming back a lot because me and my sister are both here, and obviously they want to be with us as well. And so they decided to open one here as well, and I sort of helped them run that while they're away in Spain and things. So yeah, that's what I do. If anyone wants a gift or Christmas presents, come into Treasure Chest in Ely.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Heard it? Yeah, sweet.
I'll have to come in.
Yeah, come say
because Christmas is coming. So
yeah, exactly.
Gifts will have to be
purchased.
Yes. Yeah. Discount maybe.
We'll see. We literally, you'd be surprised how many customers who are just literally, I've never met in my life, and they're like, oh, can I get any discount? It's like, well, no. You wouldn't go into like McDonald's and say, oh mate, can I have that burger for free, please?
You've obviously played so many shows this year.
Yeah, crazy amounts.
Have you got any highlights? Can you remember any ones? Or is it all just one big blur?
No. There's... the thing is, I'll probably forget some now that are literally amazing.
I was trying to bullet point some, and I was just like, I'm going to end up writing an essay of how many shows you've played.
Yeah, literally. In May, I headlined the Junction for the first time, so that was the highlight. That was obviously
definitely.
And the thing for me was that Gary came after me after the show, the guy who was running the show, and he said to me, "You're headlining again." He just said there, and then he was like, that he thought us as a band, we were better than most of the supporting touring acts in the Junction, so that's massive to me. So that was a great show. It couldn't really have gone better.
Green Meadows
was one that I was going to touch on because it was my first festival for BBC Introducing.
Yeah.
So that was really cool, and a massive shout out to Tom Simpkins at BBC for everything that he does supporting us locally. Dot to Dot Festival in Nottingham, which is, well, it's a festival it goes around Manchester, Bristol and Nottingham, and it's basically the same lineup but 3 days in a row. And in each city they have a little bit of a local like group that play, like they get selected to play, which is the only artists that don't go around all three. And I've had the pleasure, although I'm not local, because I've gigged in Nottingham quite a lot, I've had the pleasure of being asked 2 years in a row to play that, and I played that again this year. And it's just, that for me is crazy, because the lineup is like all my favourite bands that I pay to go and watch all year at their own gigs. So I literally get to share the stage with artists that I love. So that was up there. And the only other, well no, there's loads of others, but one that really, really, really does stand out for me is Leeds. Whenever I got to Leeds, I don't know why, it seems to get a crazy audience every time. So
yeah, well, they have a huge music scene up there, don't they?
Yeah, it's just amazing. I've met so many great people in Leeds now as well, and I think every time I go, there seems to be the same people bringing more people with them, or it's just snowballing. Which
so how
is
do you
cool.
how do you manage to get all these shows? Are you hassling people, or are people hassling you now? Or is it just a bit of both?
Originally, obviously, it was all me hassling people, and literally, for any artist that want to get out and play, if you ask people, you'll get the gigs. Like,
just do not stop.
You'll get a lot
people.
of people like that will ignore your messages and stuff, and you start to get like downbeat or like disheartened. But if you've got like the drive to just keep on asking different people, finding out different promoters, you'll get them. Especially in places like Leeds, there's so much going on and so many promoters that eventually you'll find one that will give you a chance. But with places like London now and a few others, I'm starting to get people that ask me quite a lot, especially in London, which is really cool. But for me at the moment, in my opinion, the two biggest ones are the places to play, Nottingham, and they're like secondly to Manchester at the moment is just booming.
Yeah.
You've got to get up to Manchester literally to play. Like, I haven't actually played yet. I'm going to be playing just after the new year. So
do you want to plug your tour dates now?
No, because I don't know them.
Oh, you don't know them?
They're all like being booked in at the moment. But
okay.
With the EP launch, there will be a nice little tour.
Okay. So apart from the gig at the Junction on the 21st, do you have any other shows coming up?
I'm playing Ox Jam on the 15th of October, so definitely come along to that. That's going to be awesome.
Which venue though? Because there's quite a few.
I'm playing at the Blue Moon.
Okay. What sort of time are you on? Evening or?
It was meant to be 6 o'clockish, but it might be changing.
Okay.
So everyone.
So it'll be on their
keep
Facebook
a check
page,
on my
right?
Facebook page,
Yeah,
because I'll be posting it on there and theirs. Yeah.
What are your music career goals? Playing certain venues, festivals, or with bands you'd like to share the stage with?
Okay. I want to share the stage with Catfish in the Bottoman. I want to headline Coco in London. For some weird reason, that venue, just for me, I just...
Not Brixton Academy?
No,
just...
Coco. Literally, Coco.
Not even Roundhouse, Camden?
No, Coco. I've seen...
Why that venue?
I've seen so many of my favourite artists there, and even though I've seen so many of my favourite artists there, the first time I went there, I was just like, oh my god, this place is awesome.
What kind of capacity are we talking? Because I haven't been to that venue.
I think it's not that big. I think it's like under 1,000, or just or about 1,000.
But are you just like pressed up to the stage, or?
No, it's sort of like a small Shepherd's Bush Empire.
Oh really?
Yeah, It's got like 3 tiers, but it's a lot smaller.
Okay.
But there's just something about it. I saw little comets there, and it was just because it was a little bit smaller. The atmosphere was so much more confined, and I like the fact of it being so tall with the atmosphere being small.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
That was crazy. So that's the venue for me, the one that I want to play. Well, originally it was the Junction, but I did that. Everyone
tick.
Yeah, exactly. That's tick. So everyone always says Cambridge. Why don't you want to play Cambridge Corn Exchange? It's the biggest one in Cambridge. But at the end of the day, the sound in Cambridge Corn Exchange is shit.
It is terrible.
So
I'm
not bothered about playing there at all. Like, well, obviously I want to play there. It'd be a great thing to be able to say I've played all the main venues, but I'm not worried about it. Junction for me is the one.
Yeah, definitely.
Festivals, Benny Cassim in Spain. That's
interesting.
If I play Benny Cassim, I'll give up music happily. No, literally,
is that like their equivalent of like
Reading and Leeds? Yeah, it's actually owned by the same people as Reading and Leeds now. So
okay.
They took it over like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I lived in Spain, and it was it wasn't the first festival. It was the first big festival I went to, and started seeing all my favourite bands. And I've now been 6 years in a row, and I have the logo tattooed on my arm.
That's cool.
So yeah.
Is that just like free entry now? You just
I
show
literally want to like get someone. Someone said to me, "You need to tell them you've got the logo tattooed, and surely you'll get some like discounts." But I've actually seen quite a few people with the logo tattooed.
Oh.
And I've never ever spoke to anyone about Benny Cassim, and they don't go. They don't say you need to go. Like, it's the best festival. There's just something about it, the atmosphere. So the festival's named after the town. It's 4 nights of music.
Wow.
I've seen literally all of my favourite artists there, like The Prodigy, Arctic Monkeys, Blur, And the thing I love about it is the music runs from 7 in the evening till 7 in the morning, so it runs overnight.
Wow.
So you have all day to go to the beach and stuff, and then you go and rock out to all your favourite bands. It's just incredible.
Might have to look into that myself.
It's like the Magaluf or Iron Appa for proper music.
Yeah.
Not being rude towards DJs or anything like that, but maybe a little bit. But yeah.
Cool. What advice would you give to up and coming musicians just starting out?
I am one myself, so it's hard.
What advice do you give yourself?
Yeah. It's weird because I've talked about Ed Sheeran a lot in this, and I'm not really even a massive fan of his music, but I had the pleasure of meeting him once.
Oh, really?
I asked him what advice he had.
Good question.
Which when I just started, literally. Normally in those situations you panic, and for some weird reason I managed to say, "Oh yeah, what advice have you got for me?" And he said to me, "No matter what you do, keep going, because there's a lot of people may say to you, yeah, but there's so many people in this world that want to do singing as a career, and there is a lot of people that want to do it, but there's only a handful that actually do it, and that's because they've got the drive to. There's a lot of people that want to sing but won't go out and get themselves a gig. So my advice to anyone would be, don't ever stop promoting yourself. If you think that you're annoying people by constantly posting Facebook statuses with your music, go listen to this, don't, because you might piss off a couple of people, but you might end up getting it shared to the right person that's going to give you a record deal. You don't know.
Yeah. Constantly
push yourself, constantly go out and get gigs, constantly go to other bands' gigs. Massively important. People think you've got to go to your own gigs. Don't miss a gig. If you're free on a night and you know that there's good bands playing, or I've met promoters and stuff which have given me my biggest gigs. I've managed to support Coasts at the Junction, which was really cool, and I met people who eventually led to me doing that just because I went to watch other bands.
Yeah.
And because I recognised people from doing research of who's this and who's their manager and things like that, just went up and spoke to them, and that's how it all leads on. So get out there. That is literally it.
So before we started recording, I asked Tom to put a little status.
Yep.
To ask his fans to ask their own questions.
And of course, I was very organised and did it in the car on the way to record the podcast.
Yeah. But
I wasn't driving, just for the record.
No, you wasn't. So we have questions.
Yep.
From your loyal fans.
Yeah.
And some
Mum and Dad, you mean?
And Carl.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about Carl.
Well, his question is number one. So I'm going to start with Carl Ledger.
Yep.
What is your favourite track of 2016?
Right, before I answer this, just want to say, this guy, if you've heard of a band called Searching Grey, you'll know what he's like. Most attention-seeking, so many words for him, that guy you can meet. No, I do love him to pieces, he's a legend. And he's asked me what my favourite track is because he knows that my favourite track of 2016 is actually a Searching Grey song, which goes by the name of I. And if you haven't heard of it, go check it out because it's insane. And it's not good because of Carl, it's good because of Nick's vocals. Nick's vocals are the only reason that song's good.
Oscar Corney is asking if you could revive anyone from the dead, a musical hero.
Yep.
Who would it be that you'd like to play with?
As much as I'd like it to be Kurt Cobain or Jimi Hendrix, because I think they're legends, it would have to be the whole of Viola Beach because they're just amazing. I went to their last London show before they passed away. It was literally like 2 months before they passed away, and I had the pleasure of meeting them at the show because it was really a small Christmas sort of gig. And they were booked to play Reading and Leeds and every major festival this summer, and they passed away on the first festival of the summer.
Wow.
So yeah, I'd pick Viola Beach all day long.
So we're going to bring it back, upbeat again. Carl has sent in another question.
Yeah, he's not an attention seeker, is he?
Where do you see yourself in 3 years' time with music? And don't be modest. Winky lick face emoji.
That's weird. I don't like it when he sends me lick faces. Where do I see myself? Still playing little venues with Searching Grey? No, definitely not. Nothing against Searching Grey. I'd still love to play venues with them, but hopefully on a bigger scale. I'd like to think that a group of us from Cambridge can do something within the industry and get to a higher stage and play the main festivals. So at the end of the day, I don't know if it will happen. I believe it will because I think you've got to believe. If you don't believe in yourself, then no one else will.
Just put on your own festival.
Exactly. Well, that may be happening.
Ooh, is that
between all of us guys? Well,
can I have a little logo just somewhere on the speaker?
Yeah. Well, basically, Carl ran a festival last year called Ledgefest.
Oh, okay.
Which had a great lineup.
Yeah.
And we're sort of all going to help a little bit more this year and hopefully make it.
I'll help.
Better.
I'll move stuff.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I'll be a roadie.
Yeah. I mean,
count me in.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot to be sorted yet, and
Yeah.
it is Carl's festival, so it's depending on what he lets us do.
Okay.
But hopefully we can all, all of us, I believe that can get to a stage where hopefully in 3 years' time I will be playing the likes of Reading and Leeds.
Okay, this question's from Brannon. If you could assemble a band with you on vocals, obviously you got to be the front man.
Yeah.
Of any artists in the world, who would you choose?
Okay.
So let's just say 2 guitarists,
Yeah.
a bassist, and a drummer.
Right. Yeah, got this. Bassist would be Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers. There's no two ways about it. I'd have to go with Slash as a guitarist.
Yeah, that would be pretty epic, wouldn't it?
Got it. The chance to share a stage with him would be insane. Another guitarist. It's really hard because growing up I was into people like Steve Vai and Joe Satriani, but that's very guitar virtuoso, and that's
he'd kind of just steal the show, wouldn't
exactly,
he?
So
he couldn't take a back seat. I don't think.
Literally. I'm gonna miss one, and then like now I'm gonna forget a really good guitarist. I'm gonna get in the car or going home and be like, oh no. So I'd go with Slash, and in a really weird way, the Kooks lead guitarist.
Oh, okay. It's a bit random.
He does really like cool stuff. I've seen live videos of him, and he's actually technically a very, very good guitarist. And then drummer, ooh,
Jack
from Hollow Star. God, we said good drummers. No, Jack is a very good drummer.
He has his own fan club, like at gigs, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he just has a section of the crowd that just shout his name the whole gig.
Literally. Well, I'm in between 3 drummers.
Okay.
Which are Travis Barker.
Jack.
No.
Sorry, Jack.
That's all right. Jack, mate, I love him to pieces, but he's out of it. No, he's not made the top 3. Travis Barker. This is so harsh. Travis Barker is an amazing drummer, in my opinion. Catfish and the Bottomman's drummer because his afro hair is just insane. And he is technically a very good drummer. And thirdly, and this is actually genuine, my drummer, Toby Thacker, is, in my opinion, an incredible drummer. He's got a degree in drumming, so...
So are they all just hitting one piece of the drum kit each?
Well, we'll have all 3 of them, and they can just,
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Or we could have a band with 3 drummers. You get bands with 2 drummers.
Yeah, you do.
Why not 3?
Yeah, okay.
That's not going to happen. I'll pick Toby, because he's in my band at the moment.
Good shout, yeah. This one's from Hannah Norris. If you could only listen to one band / solo artist for the rest of your life, who would it be?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Like, you reckon it would be Catfish and the Bottommen because they are my favourite band at the moment.
Yeah.
But I probably wouldn't pick them.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's really, really hard.
That is a tough question because you just go through phases with bands, don't you? You can't...
Catfish would be up there. If it was an album, I'd probably pick Collision Course by Jay-Z and Linkin Park.
Oh, really?
I do genuinely listen to that most days.
Okay.
If I had to pick one artist, I think I'm going to go with Royal Blood.
I'm going to answer that question as well, actually, because that's a good question.
Wait, let's pretend... Yeah.
You can ask me the question.
Let's pretend, Dan, that you're an artist.
Okay.
Are you an artist?
Of sorts. A graphic artist, maybe?
I was meaning musically.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So, we've got a question from Hannah Norris. If you could only listen to one band / solo artist for the rest of your life, who would it be, Dan?
So this is kind of condescending as well because they did a lot of shit afterwards and...
Oh, Tom Lumley?
No. Not you. They did a lot of shit afterwards and I had an argument with the guy, the lead singer, on Facebook just because he was a knob, basically.
Yeah.
But their debut album, Funeral for a Friend,
okay,
Casually Dressed and Deep in Conversation, I could listen to that album non-stop every day on repeat.
Okay, just cool.
That is my youth right there.
Yeah.
I could just listen to that forever.
Yeah, I think my mind's slowly changing on mine.
Oh, okay. Who would you pick now?
Arctic Monkeys.
Arctic Monkeys.
I think so. Yeah. Well, there's just so many artists.
Which album? Or just them?
Just them
as an artist.
General. They've got so much diversity, you'd never get bored.
Okay, so I think we have one more question.
Yeah, this is quite a blinder.
Yeah, probably the best question. Save the best until last.
Yeah.
Luke Andrews asks...
Thank you, Luke.
What is your favourite cheese?
What is your favourite cheese? I think the only conversations me and Luke have had are backstage at festivals this summer. Oh, mate, that was an awesome set. And he's gone from that to, what's your favourite cheese? But yeah, cheers, Luke. It's a very, very tough choice. We're in between a bit of Red Leicester and mature cheddar. I'm going to go with Red Leicester.
Red Leicester. Okay, cool. That ends the little segment of questions. from your fans. So now I want to know your guilty pleasures. Not those sort of guilty pleasures. Guilty pleasures with music. So songs or artists that you secretly love, that you're kind of afraid to admit. Maybe songs that you don't really want to admit to your friends because they'd take the mick.
Yeah. It's a hard one because I like a lot of bad music.
It's not bad music though, it just probably would just affect your image if you admitted them, which you are going to.
I love Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's bad though.
Well, she did start off quite rocky though, didn't she?
She's quite rocky and she's hot, so...
Yeah, but I don't think she's that rocky anymore, is she?
No, I don't know what she's doing now.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Go with that. Occasionally, I may put on Kiss FM in my car. Occasionally, it may have happened. Alright, and I may have happened to sing along to a couple of Katy Perry songs.
Okay.
Iggy Azalea, if that's how you say it.
Yeah.
It might have happened, I don't know, but yeah.
There was no proof that happened.
No.
So now we're going to play another song of yours. Would you like to introduce it for us?
Okay, the next song that you're going to hear is a track which is going to be in the new EP and has already been released. So it's an unreleased track. It's called Running for My Lives.
We run from the night, and we run from our lives. Yesterday will never be the same. And we hide from all our crimes, and we hide from all our lies. And every day we try to run from shame. Cowards in a fight, and we're cowards but we know it. And yesterday we learned what's wrong or right. And we kneel and say our prayers, 'cause of things that we can't bear. Every day before we close our eyes. From the night. Ooh. And we're running from our lives, from our lives, from our lives.
Now we've come to the end of the show. Where can everyone follow you on social media?
I'm Googleable. I like to tell everyone that. So if you
Is that a word? Googleable?
It is now. It has been for months in my eyes. If you search up Tom Lumley Music on Google, it will all come up. But yeah, facebook.com/Tom Lumley Music. My Twitter account's a weird one. It's TomPRS22.
Was that just like before you were doing music stuff, you had Twitter? Or?
It was when I was obsessed with just being a lead guitarist and I had Twitter. And the PRS22 is a guitar.
Yes, it is.
So that's where it came from. So yeah, but if you search up Tom Lumley music in all of them, it does tend to come up.
So your SoundCloud and
that is
the iTunes stuff. That
is soundcloud.com/Tom Lumley music as well.
Yeah. Thank you to my guest, Tom Lumley.
No worries, thank you.
Local Distortion is now on Patreon. You can support the show by donating as little as 1p a month. 1p. Please check out the page and rewards I offer to higher donators. And yeah, just generally support the show so I can keep this going and yeah, hopefully get bigger and better. You can join Local Distortion community on Facebook, facebook.com/localdistortionpodcast. I'm now on Twitter, which, yeah, had to be done. So, Dan L. Distortion, yeah. And please subscribe to Local Distortion Podcast YouTube channel. I haven't got a URL yet. I need more subscribers. For more interviews, live performances, branching off from the podcast, I'm now offering the platform of Undiscovered Sessions, which is a way for new bands and artists to get much needed exposure to a wider audience. Each session is a stripped down acoustic set of the band's, artists' songs, recorded live and filmed in the studio, in this very studio. This is more aimed towards newcomers who maybe haven't played too many shows or recorded many tracks, but we're always open to having more seasoned bands come down. So Undiscovered Sessions puts raw talent over experience to help the individual gain confidence, boost their following. And if other bands who are listening are interested, or people who know bands that think, oh, they should be on this, just drop me a message. Thank you for listening.
That's you can never over prepare.
Did you get that question? When you're on the road, do you turn your pants inside out? You haven't been on the road that long.
Maybe. You have to be on the road, just at home.
What about Reading?
Reading. Just don't wear pants, do you? No, Reading.